Good afternoon. I'm former Flat Hat Managing Editor Becky Koenig, and I'm here with SA Vice Presidential and Presidential candidates Andrew Canakis and Andrew Salamone, and they're going to be speaking with us a little bit about their campaign and their thoughts about what they would do as President and Vice President. Hi guys, thanks for joining us.
Hi.
So, start out with why do you want to become SA President and Vice President?
I think that we were freshman roommates. We lived together for the past 3 years. We're actually living with each other again next year. And so kind of since freshman year, we've been critiquing, seeing all the different aspects of the SA and how it affects the student body. And when we got the email that people can run, we're like, we can make a big difference. Like, we have a great relationship, and we kind of really just want to bring real change that directly affects the students. Like personally, I mean, I know there are a lot of SA things like the massage chairs you see directly, but a lot of things the students don't really have a direct connection with. And our whole big thing is we want to bring real change, in a span of 2 semesters.
Do you think that as, outsiders to the organization, what are the advantages, maybe disadvantages of that position?
I think this is why we wanted to run, because we're outsiders. I think people who come in as a freshman, they're kind of inculcated like, this is how the SA runs, this is what you do, this. And so as an outsider, we can keep the system, but we're bringing a bunch of whole new ideals that the system's not used to. In a way, like, shock the system in a positive way. Like, let's keep it running with new ideals that the SA's not used to. And that's why we want to run.
What do you think most sets you apart from the 5 other pairs who are running?
Shake a bake.
Well, going guy crew. We didn't choose each other based on knowing different groups of people to try and increase our voting base. We actually work well together, and we're excited to do it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been friends for 3 years. He's been to my house, and if he has a good or a bad idea, like, I can honestly say, like, no, we're not doing this. I don't have to be like political with him. It's like a very real, sincere relationship. No matter what happens with the elections, we're still going to be friends.
What do you 2 think is the most important issue that the SA faces currently?
For us personally, I mean, we really want to see, like we keep stressing, a constant, like, direct line between the student body and the student assembly. One of the things we want to do is kind of create an online forum thing where on Blackboard there's a link. You can directly send a message to the SA. Everyone will read it, or I guarantee you that I will personally read it. This way, so you're not on the William & Mary website and you're searching for 5 minutes to find how do I contact the student assembly with this problem. In addition to this direct communication link, we want to set up a selective listserv system. So, like, if I have nothing to do with the SA, but I want to see what the student senate is doing, I can sign up for a student senate listserv and I can get direct contact with them. This will raise more awareness around campus. And then on top of that, kind of to culminate all this, we want to create a fall philanthropy event for the fall. This is another big reason why we wanted to run. Spring semester's notable for King and Queen's Ball, Katie's Campus Golf, Blowout. AMP they had a llama, I think, last year, giant inflatable thing. So why can't we have that excitement for the fall? There's nothing that really defines the fall that gets the whole school together. So create like a school-wide fall philanthropy event. And our big idea was doing the William & Mary Amazing Race Edition. So get local businesses to sponsor it, cap it at maybe 50 teams of 2 and 3, use the blowout money or, allocate it differently where we can have giant obstacle courses with prizes.
Or work with the community to get sponsors and not even tap into the blowout money, hopefully.
Let's get excited.
You spoke a little bit about how you would increase transparency, with the Blackboard and the listservs. Are there any other ways you think that can be done? Because I know a lot of students, one of their biggest criticisms of the organization is that they feel it's not very transparent.
And I think we're a classic example of this. Outsiders coming into this system, and that is the reason why we want to run. We really want to, intertwine the student assembly and student body through the Blackboard and the listservs.
There are 6 candidate pairs running for SA this year as opposed to 2 last year. And do you think that says anything about student satisfaction or dissatisfaction with the SA or how it's been running, and what do you think you can do to address the possible implications of that fact.
You want to take the handle laterally? Run a flea flicker. You take it first, and then pitch it to me, and I'll throw it.
Okay. All right. Well, I think it just changes the dynamic of how the election works. Maybe last year people saw only 2 running groups and decided that they would try this year and make it the third. But with the more variety, the more options, I think that's a good thing. It allows more competition for the vote. I think that groups that the voting bases will be less cliquey and actually pay attention to individual ideas and what they want to see done. So I think that the increased competition is actually a good thing, and that may make people pay attention more.
Yeah. On top of that, I feel like maybe last year people were intimidated. You know, Kave was rerunning. But for us, it's no intimidation factor. This was not planned since freshman year. Like, we saw things that we know that we could personally fix, and that's all we decided to run. It doesn't matter who's running against us. We were going to run this year.
So the SA is responsible for a very large amount of money, which the students contribute to with their student fees, and I know they're always concerned about where their dollars are going. So do you have any thoughts about how the SA has spent money in the past and how you might change how the funds are reallocated?
This goes back to our whole idea of shocking the system. There are certain funds set in place that really the SA isn't allowed to move. I mean, this goes to steer clear, money going to AMP, money allocated for Charter Day, concert, and such. What we'd like to see is just, you know, let's look at the bigger picture, new set of eyes. For instance, the massage chairs, maybe through our online forum, let's get a poll of people responding, do they really like these massage chairs? Is it worth the money? And how we can switch it around.
Also, more transparency of where the money's going. We're both involved in club activities on campus, and there's always the beginning of the season, if it's a sport, or beginning of whatever activity it is, where they're competing for funding from the SA, and it changes year by year based on the success of that organization or the perceived success of the organization in the eyes of the SA. And we will. There are always people that think they deserve more money, and if they could just see where the money was going, more transparency of how it was allocated, I think that there would be less animosity and more cooperation with us.
What's the top priority for you guys? What would you, if you elected, what would be the first thing that you'd come in and do?
Immediately, I mean, I guess we kind of touched on it earlier, but immediately set up that Blackboard link system. Let's start getting ideas in, and then on top of that, we really want to extend the tribal fever atmosphere and gear it up for the fall semester. I mean, people always are complaining, how can we raise participation at the games? I know the schools tried, you get a free T-shirt, you get this, but that's not really going to happen. I mean, it's not going to increase
student turnout, enthusiasm.
So what we kind of do is create that homecoming atmosphere, but every Saturday for a football game. For instance, we really want to allocate different, like a PBK, the parking lot, allocate it for different student groups and organizations, tailgate, create a healthy relationship with the school administration.
How do you feel the SA works with other bodies on campus? I know in the past there's been some consternation between Honor Council, between the administration. How do you foresee you would work with the administration or the student class presidents, things like that?
I think that the SA is an integral part of the Honor Council, like you said, and that's been a constant for the past couple of years. We want to continue that trend, but then we want to expand it more. I know there are multiple groups on campus who I personally talk to, and they really don't hear from the SA. And we're very easy to connect to. I think also we need a stronger presence with the the sports teams. The Greek organizations, we have over 500 clubs and organizations at William & Mary, and the fact that there's a minority that are, with constantly
in connection, talking to you, feeling affected by the student assembly, we can bring it all together.
Especially since funding comes from the SA. So, are there any other things that you think the voting public should know about?
I think the voting public should know about us. What the voting public should know about us is, I guess you could categorize us as the underdog, and that's what is making us work harder. I personally believe we campaign harder than all the other candidates. We printed 150 T-shirts. They're all gone. I saved one for my mom and grandmother. So yeah, we gave out 150 T-shirts in 2 days. I'm personally going up to people, explaining them why we should be president, and it's making us work harder.
Well, thank you so much, guys. It's been great to meet you.
It's been great.